So we've moved over to the Tech House track, and we're going to look at some other ideas of how we can use the spatial effects in the Sound Toys bundle. So the first thing we're going to look at is the clap sound. So what I'm going to do is just send some of the level to a bus, and I'm going to place a little plate onto the bus, and we're going to add some plate reverb to this clap sound. So plate reverb's really fantastic on claps and snares and things like that in dance music. It adds a nice kind of linear reverb to the sound. And if you find one which is really complementary, then it can just be fantastic for extending the tail of the sound and just making it cut through the mix better. One thing I like to do with reverbs is to use pre-delays to help separate them from their sound. So the clap will have a little bit of space in between itself and the reverb tail. So pre-delay helps mimic the way that sounds react in acoustic spaces. If you think about if you were listening to something in, say, a big space like a church, if you have pre-delay on the sound, it means that the sound appears closer to you because the reverberating sound comes later, which means that the original sound hits your ear first, and then there's a period of time before the actual reverb hits you, which is kind of like someone, let's say, speaking close to you in a big space, so the reverb of their voice will hit you later. Whereas if you have no pre-delay, it mimics that person being far away from you, because then the reverb and the original sound hits you at the same speed. So we can create a bit of kind of front-back separation by using pre-delay. And it also helps you kind of unclutter the sound from its reverb. Now, we could do this using the time here, or we can take it off note and put it on time and just do it manually. Now you can, again, use the music math method. So you can calculate this using these times here, but if we were going to do that, we could also use the note values as well. But maybe it's good to kind of get a general idea and then work back from there. So I'm actually going to go for like a 29 value and see what that sounds like. Bring the mix all the way up actually and bring the feedback down, because I actually don't want any of the delayed sound coming through continually. I just want a single tap. Okay, let's try a little bit longer. We're losing a bit of volume there, so I'm just going to boost the output here. Okay, let's try increasing this a lot more. So we could even get creative with this. Let's say we wanted to try an eighth note. We've now pushed the reverb back an eighth note, so the reverb starts to come in an eighth note after the original sound. Let's actually put it onto notes. It'll be quicker to try it that way. So if you really focus, the clap seems to have more depth to it when I bring in the delay. So shut your eyes again and just try and focus on the clap. Without the pre-delay coming from Echo Boy Jr., the clap seems to kind of be coming from the same space as everything else. But when we bring that in, it just seems to have a bit more depth to it. Okay, so let's try another effect. So on this, let's do the Dirty Thang vocal here.
Let's do the dirty thing.
I'm going to send this to a bus. Now on this bus, in fact, I'm going to send it to 2 buses. Now on the first bus, I'm going to place a little altar boy. Now this is a kind of pitch shifter, performance shifter, with different modes we can do it in. We've got drive and we've got a mix control. So it allows us to manipulate the vocal, as it says here, monophonic voice manipulation. Now I am going to link these together and I'm going to pitch this up an octave and the performance up an octave as well. So we're going to have this kind of sound coming from here now.
Let's do the dirty thing.
As opposed to,
Let's do the dirty thing.
okay, now I'm going to copy this across to my next bus and I'm going to change the settings for this one to be an octave lower. Let's add a bit of drive to both, why not, while we're here. And let's have a listen to how these sound together.
Let's do the dirty thing.
Okay, let's try, actually no, I was going to pan these, but what I'm going to try doing instead is busing them to a new channel, so both of them together, and on here I'm going to place little micro shifts, so we'll go with the little version rather than the big one.
Let's do the dirty thing.
Okay, and now we've got again that stereo spread kind of aspect to the sound. So let's have a listen to the sounds together.
Let's do the dirty thing. Let's do the dirty thing.
And take those bit out.
Let's do the dirty thing. Let's do the dirty thing. Let's do the dirty thing.
Okay, and let's have a listen to some context.
Let's do the dirty thing. Let's do the dirty thing.
Let's do the dirty thing.
Let's do the dirty thing.
So again, we're just really creating interest to that stereo image. We've got those 2 different vocal sounds on the buses being processed by this little micro shift to create that chorus effect. Now I could actually try panning them a little bit as well. Let's see what that sounds like.
Let's do the dirty thing.
So we're even more stereo now.
Let's do the dirty thing. Let's do the dirty thing.
It's pretty cool. Let's so take it without.
Let's do the dirty thing. Let's do the dirty thing.
So that's quite a nice vocal processing for this sound. So it's not going to work on everything. You know, you're not going to do that on your kind of folk track vocal, although who knows, you might invent a new sound. But on this, it works really, really well. Okay, so let's have a look at Primal Tap for adding some more spatial effects. I'm going to choose this slide guitar sound here. So it's already got some effects on it, kind of baked in, but let's add some more. So I'll put Primal Tap on. So Primal Tap is a stereo delay. It's got some really, really cool features that we're going to look at in some future videos as well. But let's try creating some more kind of everyday usable sounds to start with. Now, as I said, it's a stereo delay. We've got channels A and B. Now, by default, these are linked, so we can have the same delay time for both. But if we unlink them, we can actually set up really nice stereo delay settings. So let's solo this so we can hear it. So So by adding feedback, we get extra repeats to the delay. So let's have a listen to it in context.
She's stomping on the bed of roses. Posters full of realness she opposes. Sick of living life, going through the motions. I know she won't marry him. She's stomping on the bed of roses. Posters full of...
So it really helps fill things out. It's probably a little bit too much, but we can obviously dial it back to get it just right. Okay, so let's try something different. Let's try leaving channel B on the setting that it's on at the moment, but let's actually speed up the second channel A, and let's actually take it off beats, and we'll do it just loose by milliseconds. Now, what we're going to do is create a kind of chorusy guitar delay setting. So let's solo it. So let's just listen to the channel A's output first of all. So we've got that slightly delayed sound just by kind of 10 milliseconds or so. Let's bring back in channel B. Now we're going to have this sound being fed through the second channel's delay, which is going to give us that delayed chorus effect. And we can push this further by adding a little bit of modulation. So I'll do it with a slow rate. Okay, let's hear it in context.
She's stomping on the bed of roses. Posters full of realness she opposes. Sick of living life, going through the motions. I know she won't marry him. She's stomping on the bed of roses. Posters full of realness she opposes. Sick of living life, going through the motions. I know she won't marry him.
Okay, so really nice delay sounds there. So we're going to come back and look at Primal Tap later on when we have a look at some more crazy out there kind of effects. In the next video, we're going to have a look at the rhythmic effects we have in the Sound Toys bundle. Thanks for watching.